Pathbreakers is brought to you by Aspirations Education, the fountain of inspiration to realize your aspirations. Print media partner, The Sunday Times. Hospitality partner, Transasia Hotel.
Ordinary people in real-life situations has always been the winning formula for reality TV shows. But when was the last time you watched a reality TV show that focused on something bigger than fame and fortune? In the coming weeks, you will not only witness a show that will keep you glued to your seats, but will also make a positive change in the young lives of its participants. It's time to take a closer look at Pathbreakers, the Aspirations Conquest.
Graduating from a prestigious university overseas is everyone's dream. Higher standards, better opportunities and bigger exposure have made foreign degrees popular among Sri Lankans. But preparing for university education abroad is easier said than done. It's not just a matter of piling up the right paper qualifications. You also need a strong personality to meet the challenges of living away from home.
So now, I think this session is going to be about looking at opportunities in a different way.
Helping students who seek education abroad is something Aspirations has been doing for years. After evolving into a leader in the field of career guidance, Aspirations broke new ground with an outrageous idea: an educational reality TV show.
Pathbreakers has been entertaining you for the past 2.5 months, presenting the ups and downs of these young decision makers as they competed for supremacy in corporate acumen. While some lived up to the expectations they carried into the show, others found the journey heartbreaking and disappointing.
We gave the short-term solution also and then went to long-term. But I don't know, he missed it out there. Yes, so he's too theoretical, too academic.
Yeah, just for the sake of winning, we can't change our entire belief system because it's too old, it's outdated, it's gone.
Alright. Okay.
It makes me look unfair.
My brother cannot believe it. I have no food, then butter people are eating.
For some, it was a wake-up call.
Exactly. They should have sent some professional.
But looking back, Pathbreakers proved to be a learning curve for everyone and a huge inspiration for many. But where did it all begin?
When VTV came up with this idea of Pathbreakers, the reality show, which was something totally novel to Sri Lanka in the education context, I thought it was a very good idea and that we should sort of work together as a team and capitalize on it and see how best we could bring out something really attractive and gripping, if possible, so that the Sri Lankan public, especially the student population and maybe the teachers and other people connected with the education field, would have something new to view and then keep on thinking in the future as to how we can develop from there onwards. So this was a challenge and that's how I thought I'll take it up along with ETV, and that's how we started Pathbreakers.
Pathbreakers was born from one organization's commitment and passion to achieve the impossible. A reality show in the English medium always seemed a daunting task. If the idea of funding such a big-scale project was hard enough to imagine, producing an up-to-standard TV show was even harder. But the originators of Pathbreakers successfully battled all odds to prove the skeptics wrong.
Well, it was actually a risky venture in the sense, cost-wise also it was quite high. I was thinking of getting the universities to support me, but the cost involved was too much, and the universities and institutes also were not very convinced that actually we in Sri Lanka could deliver a program like this. Finally, we managed to get some support from them, and the balance of course had to come from Aspirations.
Pathbreakers was conceived as a corporate reality show with substance. Its aim was to encourage both participants and the audience to think out of the box and break away from traditional approaches to problem solving.
How can you be a head of sales when you've just been an intern somewhere?
So say if I were an MD, if I have a person who's been trained well, I would give a second chance to see whether he can perform in another area, another place.
You're confused actually. What is the role you want him to play? You want him to be a consultant? You want him to be a salesperson?
No.
What role do you want Steve to play?
Yeah, still he can do sales, but not in Arkansas.
Sorry, you're saying that keep him away from customers. Minimum interaction with customers is your recommendation.
Yeah, that is.
Can you be a salesperson and keep away from customers?
Pathbreakers was open for undergraduate students in business management. The contestants were faced with the challenge of solving real-life management issues in business organizations.
This is a long-term plan. We completely know that we cannot do this overnight.
He should have a say to what's being done. You just can't remove his baby without his consent.
At least the sports supplement, that's being emotional.
Not exactly, sir. If I have a say to my product, if I was involved in it all throughout the time, then I should have some say. I can't be completely eliminated from the process.
So this current process you say is fine, it's only the CEO should take the decision, is that so?
It's okay for a stable environment, but not for a crucial one.
Solving the case studies was half the battle. The biggest challenge was convincing the hard-to-please board of directors.
Quality product to consumers.
How much of their business is in this Neptune gold seal?
Right now...
Give me a figure.
Well, everything is there.
Give me a figure.
I'm sorry,
30%. So therefore, 70% of their core competency is what? Catching quality fish. So therefore, what you're doing, as my colleague says, is focusing on 30% of a 4.5% market share. What would you do about exporting?
You can actually go into a developed country where they appreciate the high-end quality seafood, where the consumers are health conscious, and you can market to them like saying, okay, look, this brand, our brand has been the connoisseur's choice for 10 consecutive years.
Stop again. You're back to the brand. They've invested $9 million, not in the brand, but in trawlers.
Yeah, but the brand image.
State-of-the-art trawlers that supply fish that taste nearly fresh. Don't you think that that's a competitive advantage?
Yes, we do think, but it's associated with the brand. If you just provide the fish itself, Neptune Gold Seal.
We're not talking about Neptune Gold. That's 30% of their competency.
Coming up, behind the scenes of Pathbreakers as the first intellectual reality show in the country gears up for a whole new season.